When I heard that Luxembourg made public transport free in 2020, I could not make sense of it. I had to see it to believe it. I know some people say that it's not free if you're paying with your taxes. What I mean by this is that every time you need to use the transport, you don't need to pay extra because in other countries, UK for example, we pay taxes too. But every time we need to use the transport, we need to pay extra. On the UK government website, you can find an illustration on how income taxes are spent. They show you percentages of how much tax goes to public services. In this case, about 4.1% goes to transport. This is a lot of taxes considering the train tickets are quite expensive. On top of this, the trains are usually disrupted. Journeys that should not take more than an hour could take longer. The ticket prices are so high you wouldn't think it's partly funded by income tax. So when I found out that Luxembourg made public transport free, I wanted to know how and why. When I arrived at one of the main stations, Luxembourg, I was looking for the ticket office or some kind of ticket machine for the tram. I wanted to make sure that public transport is really free and I didn't see any ticket machines or service desks whatsoever. Everyone was just hopping on the trams. The trams only run in the city of Luxembourg. You'd think since the trams are free, the quality would be bad, but they're decent. They are scheduled for every 3 minutes on weekdays and every 10 minutes on weekends. They run from 4 a.m. till midnight and 5 a.m. till midnight on weekends. This is really good service in my opinion, and I didn't face delays the way people have claimed online. I recorded this when it wasn't so busy. They are packed during rush hour and it's very hard to get a seat. The lines pass through Luxembourg's financial district, Kichberg, so a lot of commuters use the trams. On average, the lines carry 80,000 passengers a day. Another thing worth noting is that they keep extending the lines throughout the city. They're constantly trying to improve the services. When it comes to train stations, they still have ticket machines and service desks. This is because you can get trains to neighboring countries like France and Germany. Basically, if you travel to a city outside of the country of Luxembourg, you have to get a ticket. If you're traveling within Luxembourg, you only have to pay if you want to travel first class. The ticket machines will also detail this in all of Luxembourg's official languages and English. The next type of transport is lifts or elevators. Basically, Luxembourg the city has two sides, the lower side and the upper side. To get from one side to the other, you can also use public lifts apart from buses or walking. These are also free and you don't need a ticket to use any of them. I only know of 2 of them, but I'm sure there's more throughout the country. If you're going to visit Luxembourg, I recommend that you use the lifts when exploring the center. Actually, I would say use both buses and lifts. This is because they will give you different experiences. As for the buses, you don't need any tickets. This type of bus here is the bus that goes around the city center. I would say the bendy buses are mainly for the city center. The city center buses are always so packed. This is because the tram doesn't go around the whole city. Now, these types of buses are mainly for outside Luxembourg City. Yes, Luxembourg has other cities too, but the capital is also called Luxembourg. These buses that go outside Luxembourg City are kind of like coaches and are meant to be for long journeys. I still can't believe they're completely free. I've paid a lot in other countries for less than this. You can even charge your devices on these buses. So how did Luxembourg decide to have free public transport because it wasn't always free? One of the reasons is that Luxembourg residents have more cars per capita than any other EU countries, which causes a lot of traffic. Also, over 200,000 people commute to Luxembourg every day from France, Belgium, and Germany, which causes even more traffic. So, one of the solutions was to make public transport free to discourage Luxembourg residents from using cars to commute. And how are they funding this? Well, taxes, of course. I tried to get some information on what percentage of the GDP they spend on this, but some of the reports were done before free public transport was introduced in Luxembourg. The Lux Times published an article in September 2018 stating that Luxembourg spends 4% of its GDP on public transport. This figure definitely has changed since then. In March 2023, the Lux Times published another article stating that Expenses have been increasing every year, and the Lux government budgeted 800 million euros for 2023 transportation but doesn't state how much the percentage of the GDP this is. The Lux government also claims that public transport wasn't profitable. Before they got rid of the tickets, the proceeds from the ticket sales did not even compensate for 10% of transportation costs. So instead of raising ticket prices like the UK, they just got rid of the tickets. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please comment down below and tell me what you think about this video. Please also like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.